Right. First the car got stuck, then the truck got stuck, then I think it was actually a tractor or something, but he was like a little kid at the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, the improving stock.
We all ready, guys? 10 o'clock all of a sudden.
I'm just sharing it. Hang on one second. I mean, you can start if you want and I'll share it, but.
See, that's the same thing. We got that kind of damage a couple of years ago.
Yes, there has been recently in the last 48 hours. It wasn't.
They used to leaves and all this.
What?
Unfortunately,
But the last 48 hours.
no,
That really is that.
put stuff on the dash to keep
What
it-
happened in the last part?
I missed that part.
Closer. We ready?
You don't have your
Almost.
video on town clerk and supervisor. Your videos.
There we go. All right.
Go ahead.
Well, to call to order the May Town of Hector Audit Meeting. Please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's get rolling.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes for April 14th.
We have a first and a second. Are there any questions or comments about the minutes for April 14th?
You figured it out.
All right,
All good.
hearing none. All in favor of approving minutes?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. I have a significantly smaller list of budget amendments than last week or last month. The first one, back to the disability payment. I missed this one last month and it should have been on last month, so we need to move from contingent account $1,566.98 to a 1990.8 employee benefits disability. The next one, we're just moving money from our attorney line to our attorney Teamsters line so that we keep any legal expenses separated. So we're moving $1,016.17 from attorney contractual to a 1420.41 attorney Teamsters contractual. Last month, we approved the purchase of the vehicles from the town of Hector, or excuse me, the town of Ithaca for the town of Hector. And so we need to do the actual physical budget journal entry for it. So we are moving $77,500 from DA 599 in the fund balance to DA 5130.2 equipment from taxes. That seems like a weird line to move it to, but that is where we purchase vehicles for the town and for highway is from that line for equipment from taxes. And just as a reminder, this covered the expense of a 10-wheel dump truck equipped to plow, as well as a road tractor and 3 brand new, never been used one direction plows. The next one is same thing. We have to pay for, one other item we're purchased for highways and dump box. So we're moving DA 5130.4 machinery contractual $23,277.50 to DA 5130.2 equipment from taxes $23,277.50. This is a replacement dump box for one of the 10-wheelers. Now we need to move money to pay for the truck, the mini dump truck that we bought for the water department. So we're moving it from SW 599, that's the water district's fund balance, to SW 8340.21. It says safety equipment and traffic cones, but apparently that's where we buy vehicles for out of the water district historically. So what some of these we just look back to previous purchases, so that doesn't scream that would be the place, but apparently that's where you do it. And then the SW 1990.4 contingent account $231.81 we need to move to their contractual line SW 8340.21. Those are this month's journal entries.
Make a motion to approve the journal entries as presented.
Open it.
We have a first and a second. Any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Now we need to pay the rest of the bills.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills as audited.
I second the motion.
We have a first and second. Any questions or comments on the bills as audited? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. We don't appear, well, before I do that, offer this up for 10 minutes of public comment. It is now 7:07 PM. Anybody? Excellent.
Hello. My name is Mandy Walls. I'm a resident of the town of Hector on Willoughby Road. But I am representing the health department tonight. Just want to take just a couple of minutes just to talk just really briefly about a couple of the things that we want everybody to kind of be aware of that we're pushing this year. And the first one is that we are having an open house because it is our 100th anniversary. It is open for the public. We're having to save the date in September. There'll be more information as that comes out in a little bit. I will leave that here. We also are always actively recruiting for what we call the Medical Reserve Corps. This is, you don't have to be a member of the medical community at all to be a volunteer. It's at all, anybody is interested in volunteering, not just with us, but with Scott County. Scan the URL on here, give me a call, we're happy to sign you up.
What do they do?
What's that?
What do they do?
All kinds of stuff. And actually that's a good segue
Just a
into.
couple synopsis.
Yeah,
Good,
they
good.
help with our rabies clinics, which is another thing that I'll talk
Yeah.
about. We actually have one coming up in the town of Hector on 414 on June the 6th. They help out with our rabies clinics. If we ever do have anything that comes up, let's say that we have, like last year when it got really, really hot, we had members of the MRC kind of call people that are on kind of a list of people that we need to check on. So really they're just there to help with pretty much anything. We had people coming in to put together tickets for us. We use our university for a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay,
So
okay.
we like it when we have fairly boring stuff for them to work on.
Mhm.
We use them a lot during COVID, so we prefer it that way. Do you have a list of clinics that are coming up for anybody? I will also leave that too. And super briefly, just want to talk really quick about ticks. We do expect it to be a fairly busy tick season. Hopefully up here where we did have a little bit of a colder winter, at least for a hot second. Weird thing. But we do expect it to be a pretty nasty tick season across the US and hopefully not up here, but we'll see. But we want people to be especially vigilant with the tick season coming up. So I do have some stuff that I will leave here along with some brochures. Then I'll leave them out there in the little kiosk. So that is all that I have to say. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
Well, where's the rabies day on June 6th?
It is at the fire department. Always had my accent. I have a hard time pronouncing it. So the Logan Hector Fire Department, 5736 State Routine 414.
On June 6th?
Yes, on June 6th.
Oh, boy.
What
There's
time?
also
Whoa.
dumpster day, and they're having a rummage sale there.
10 to 12. So,
Yeah.
But isn't there a rummage sale in the building that day too?
It's going to be a nice busy day there. Bring your pets and get
Wow.
everything taken care of at the same time.
Do you need some inside space for that?
I am not the one running the clinic, so that's a good idea. That's a good.
They might
question.
should check in. It's possible that something got missed in the mix, because that's a lot of things at one time in the
Yeah.
building.
I'll certainly bring it up to our rabies coordinator, but I know it's been something that's been on the books for
Huh.
for quite a while.
It'd be a
so
spicy
I'll
day.
check with her.
I see
Yeah.
fist fights between the library volunteers and the.
You guys can use the kitchen.
Yeah.
We don't need the kitchen. Actually, we'll
We
leave
don't-
it alone.
Typically need a lot of space for the rabies clinics, as long as, we can always hope for good weather.
Right.
So that way we can get people to help, kind of line up outside, but I'll certainly check with them.
Yeah, just to make sure they know, because it's gonna be a busy day.
Yeah.
I mean, the dumpster day I don't think will be in the way, but the rummage sale and the rabies clinic are gonna.
Yeah, I'll certainly check.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Any other public comment? Anything pop up online?
No, I haven't seen any.
Hearing none, we'll move on at 7:12. And we don't have any representatives from the county here, so we'll move on to the sustainability committee. I think I did see somebody.
So the first thing I want to talk about is our next watershed forum is next week on Wednesday. This is the second watershed forum that we're sponsoring. And this one, we're gonna focus on harmful algal blooms. We have a guy named Mark Kessel, we send him Pure Waters. He's got a lot of experience with water quality, and he says it's a top down there. Hopefully we'll get a good crowd. We've done a fair amount of advertising, hopefully it pays off. And I'll take on the solar, please, Liz, correct me if I get something wrong here. The town signed a contract with Finger Lakes Energy to install 7 to 10 solar panels on the water tower at Peach Orchard.
No, 2 days after our last meeting, I got a phone call that they could probably fit more panels on the place where we're putting the $60,000 worth of panels. So we're working on transferring, making sure it's okay with the grantors that we are able to do that, in which case then we're gonna have them put it up.
And so all the panels will go on the tower.
No contract has been signed yet, because
Okay.
we have to wait for the not information from the grantors.
Okay.
Stuff's changing fast around here. But we'll put up more production capability as part of a bigger project than we would have as two separate projects.
It makes more sense to have them all in one space.
And I did speak to the person who received the grant to let him know, that we assigned the contract to let him know that we might not sign the contract that we thought we might. Yeah.
Repair cafes, we had a repair cafe at the Montreux Falls Fire Department a week and a half ago. It went okay. I would have liked it if we had more people, so we need to think about the Hector one coming up on September 26th. And things maybe we could do to advertise better and draw more people in. But we had, I think, 9 coaches. We had a lot of coaches. We just need more people bring stuff in that's broken. And that would help. The Mecklenburg Pollinator Garden, a couple weeks ago, we planted some plants that people donated from their gardens. Like echinacea and Rebecca and some other things that can be easily split in the spring. So that's planted, and then this Saturday, we're planting the things that are being bought. So they have a budget of $700 from the town of Hector and Sustainable Finger Lakes. And the Mecklenburg Committee is also offered up to an additional $600 to buy plants. So it should be, I think, a nice space. Hector Homegrown, I put down here, we have 29 vendors, we actually have 31. We got a couple more interested. We're working on a more decorative map. A paper map that's hand drawn. Maybe something could be distributed at Fred Exchange or at these various vendors. And we did get the WENY interview posted on Mother's Day. So that's out there. I think it turned out pretty well. It generated a lot of interest. We got a lot of Facebook followers, and that's where we got a couple more participants for this campaign. And then finally, we're going to have that swap meet on June 6th. In conjunction with dumpster day, so it's only gonna be one day. We're gonna start early in the morning at 7, accepting items. And then people can come at any time and hopefully take things away. So everything's free. We want usable items, anything that can't be given to the dumpster people, we don't want any. So paint, patterns, materials, we can't take any of that either. Um, so I think that's it.
Thank you. Great. I've excused Scott this evening. He's dealing with a family situation. So real quick, he submitted his board report in a timely manner. They have been grading and patching roads. They started dust oil. They've been updating ditch work, pipes and gravel on Matthews and Fitzgerald, Dean, Burnt Hill, and Mark Smith Road. They picked up the vehicles from the town of Ithaca. They've had a number of calls for down the trees. It's been stormy. And they are sending 2 of their reps are going to the Duval safety training in Buffalo on June 3rd.
And I was lucky enough yesterday to get Buffy's time to tour town of Hector from north, south, east, west. Pretty interesting. There's a lot of roads I've never been on, so there's a lot of roads that don't really look like roads either. So I can understand better what these guys are up against every day. One of the things that did come up though at the end of the day was they were working on a trailer for that was shared between the state park and the cemeteries association, basically. And the guys were working on the wiring, which is always an issue on those trailers, but they were fixing that to get it up so they could actually move their mowers back and forth and start hitting some of these cemeteries. What I suggested to Bumpy and was to get that up and operational and put that in use for full time for the park. So the park would have it down there all the time and they could lower it out as needed themselves and replace it with a dual axle trailer, which potentially they could put, would solve another issue in the product about having facilities for these guys when they're out on a long-term job. If we could put a porta john on top of that, strap it down, move it from place to place. So it's something that I would like to have the board consider. Is giving the approval to Scott to up to a certain limit for the dollars and cents. To get a replacement of single axle, to replace a single axle, repurpose a single axle for a park to be utilized in Acre or wherever else it's needed, or cemetery association.
I think we can talk about that at the highway committee. And the next item, thank you.
Sure.
I think the next thing you talked with them about also, and I wanted to bring up is brought to our attention that a number of larger pieces of equipment, the excavators, the loaders, and one of the mowers do not currently have two-way radios in them. And we feel that we should make sure that all that equipment, so if they're out working on their own or nearly on their own, or if there is potential for traffic interference, that if they're working in these pieces of equipment, they can easily contact other members of the highway department.
The example was shown to me, Bumpy was saying, I was assuming it was more long distance communication. It's not necessarily, it's, you know, somebody's up on top of a knoll on the hill and somebody's down below, you got traffic coming through. You gotta be able to notify these people, you know, ahead of time so that they can slide off to the edge of the road and let people go through. So I understand it a lot better than I did before, you know, when I asked the question about long distance and dead zones and things like that. And he said it's not as big an issue with dead zones as it is with cell phones. So it's much clearer. And there were several calls that came in throughout the day yesterday.
So this is something else I want to bring up. When I was talking with Scott earlier today, he believes it's 6 radios. They may have potentially 3 that could be updated and programmed for the use that they need. But this is something we'll be revisiting, and we can talk about it highway next week. I just wanted to get it out on the public that it was a concern and we were talking about it. The next thing, we have a 1998 10-wheel international truck that it's sitting out behind. If any of the board members want to look like it, currently has a water tank in it. We'd like to declare it as surplus and have it put on Auctions International. We need to have a motion for that.
Make a motion to approve, declaring, the international, as a surplus vehicle to be put on Auctions International.
How's that? Go ahead, Anthony. I got you.
We have a,
Yeah.
Anthony. We have a first and a second. Are there any additional questions on this?
Is it rusty?
I was gonna say, does it have any value? Should we just take it to the scrapyard?
It runs.
Scott said mechanically it's okay. It's-
Frame wise,
Luckily it passed, maybe it don't quite pass
That's the
inspection.
strongest on the truck.
yeah, it's got a really good engine, but
And
the
runs
frame
well.
is rusting
Uh-huh.
away.
Uh-huh,
And it's pre-emission, so the engine itself might have value to some,
uh-huh.
but somebody or some organization.
Transmission was just, we made transmission put in it 3 or 4 years ago.
Pretty recently, huh? Nice.
That's why Scott needs to get rid of it, because mechanic is good, but it's really
Mm-hmm,
rusty.
mm-hmm. Maybe somebody who loves to weld will, buy it and, weld it up.
Well,
The seasonal roads, did you get them all fixed? We had our, the date. was
then we gotta finish the vote
Aye.
first. We have, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Seasonal roads, they are working on it. I know Fitzgerald, the section of Fitzgerald is open now and Burnt Hill is, I'm not sure about Mark. Seneca's not a seasonal road.
Up the
One section.
Oh, okay.
it goes over to the national forest.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
And I drove it, and it was bad city.
And I regret it.
We went down that road also. It's bad.
It's just a creek.
Remember the new Chevy truck we bought? Let's not do it anymore.
So should we extend?
Yeah, we need to.
We can extend the
I thought we did till June.
no, we went through May 5th, through this meeting, we decided on, so we can extend to June 1st to any roads that continue
Uh-huh.
to need it.
It's gonna rain all day tomorrow.
Yep. Well, I'll entertain that resolution if somebody'd like to make
I'll
it.
make that motion to extend the seasonal roads use snow maintenance until June 1st.
Should it be till the next?
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah, let's do
should
the
be
next
till a
audit
meeting, right? Cause
Oh, you
otherwise,
have them fixed. Oh,
oh, I like your optimism, Mike.
we can do it till the next meeting. when
It's June 9th.
June 9th.
A second.
We have a first and a second. Any further questions or comments?
Just a quick one, they might put me in a deep hole here, but we have all these signs that are limiting the amount of tonnage on each one of the roads. But except for local deliveries, I believe it's on the road that you get on the local deliveries, but I'm just curious from the standpoint, we've got all these signs out there and there's the trucks that are still traveling on the roads that are a lot heavier than required amount. I mean, is it just a process we go through to put the
It's,
signs out?
it's a process.
We don't-
It is if we can get the vehicles ticketed, but there's a lot of exemptions, ag vehicles can,
Yep. I understand.
and local
People got to do their
delivery.
jobs still.
If you notice, those road signs have significantly larger print because we did have a truck driver get out of the ticket a couple of years ago because he said the signs that we had posted were too small and they were illegible. So we created all the signs with larger print, but it's a matter of if the signs are posted and if the sheriff happens to be in the right place and does ticket them, it'll stand. But
Some people did approach me and basically their recourse is they think that there's some issue that they should report it to local sheriff's department.
But they were temporary closures too for the stone and oil roads and spread so they can get broke, so they actually should be picking those signs up.
But if there is a road in particular that somebody's concerned about, their best recourse is the sheriff's number.
Right.
Unfortunately,
No, I just want to understand the process. And we put out a lot of signs that they don't necessarily get
in respect that
the attention that they should.
it's unfortunate because it does a lot of damage to the roads.
It's gonna tear the roads up.
The last item under highway, I'm asking for authorization to sign a new service contract with a new uniform company, Vestas. This,
We have blockers for those. They miss up on blockers.
I don't believe so.
We need blockers.
I don't
just-
believe so. We have to ask the highway on that topic.
Because any contract that I've been involved in before, there was an established area set aside, which I don't think we have available space enough to do it. But those uniforms are going to the lockers for the individuals.
I think they got one big rack over there, they hang them all.
Yeah, I think that's.
It's a rack, same
I think it's-
same process.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I-
right.
Like a one long clothing
Yeah.
rack, I have seen them. Scott brought to my attention the previous contract was prepped up quite a bit.
Hmm.
And that was with a number of staff members choosing not to use it. We shopped around.
You mean they were choosing to launder their own?
Choosing to not even use the clothing provided because of fit concerns, et cetera.
Uh-huh.
This company was found, it's on the state bid. It should be about a $40 a cycle less than the existing one, or dramatically more clothing. This provides
Yeah, it's quite a lot of clothing, huh?
11 sets of clothing for each employee. And it also, you can see it, this, they will take over the business for the mats in the town hall. That's neither here nor there. They will come out and measure each employee to make sure that they're being provided with clothing that theoretically fits them. So if it's insured, it's sort of them cutting off the sleeves to turn something into a tank top or something. If it gets damaged during normal work, the clothing is replaced with no charge to us, no additional charge to us.
Is there a point person here that's gonna be,
Currently, it will be Scott.
okay,
Make a motion to have the town board supervisor sign the apparel contract with Vestas.
that's not good.
And then do we have any trouble getting out of the previous agreement or has?
Our
it
other one is
naturally
up,
lapsed?
the other one is left.
How many years is this?
This is just for 1 year.
I was a little confused about one thing in here. It says there shall be no price increase for the first 4 years of the agreement. In the event the term of this SA has not expired on or around April 1st, 2028, the supplier may request an increase to all charges, but that's only 2 years from now. So I just felt like that was a little bit confusing. That's on page 1 of the service agreement form, Annex A.
You know?
I didn't know if we wanted to clarify that because those two don't match.
Well, it's also a 1 year contract.
Yeah.
Right, so I was just found all of those things a little confusing.
I will get that clarification prior to signing.
Otherwise, I am fine with you signing the contract.
And also, it does also state though that there's 90 days termination at any time. So we can get out of it
Okay, mhm.
at any time. Okay, we have
Is it termination clause, or is it just?
any party
Any
can.
party. Okay.
Somebody to make a motion.
We have a
Okay.
first and a second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Scott, for catching.
Yeah,
that.
that's great.
No, Scott came to me and it was great. He came to me and said, this has been creeping up quite a bit. Let's talk about it.
Is our town hall run contract also up? Cause that was a different business.
No, that's the same business as the uniforms.
I mean, now, but previously it was a different business?
No,
Oh,
it
the
was,
same.
yeah,
Okay.
same, so it's convenient.
Yeah, that's great.
Right, water district. We have Jeremy here to represent this evening.
So in April, we pumped 3.8 million gallons of water, an average of 131 gallons per day. Water testing, all current sample draws are up to date. Waiting on new sample schedule, monthly reports, all DOH reports, DEC, DMR reports sent out. Water withdrawal 2025 water withdrawal report was completed and sent to DEC. Water service turnouts 15, 0 off. Backup generators are all in good working order. Water treatment plant air compressors still trying to figure out the one. Other one is in good working order. Pulse is in good working order. Insert filtration. Service trucks, bolt trucks work good in good working order. Also purchased a 2018 dump truck from Tom Ethia. Meter reading system is working great. Few not reading, just wire issues.
How many of those have you updated?
I think we did
106.
And because we had we had like 25 or so.
Yeah.
We were working, but slowly getting through those.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
blood and count for sample, 10 samples are scheduled for testing before June.
First place. Oh, no, that's King.
Water services for new home build and winery at Blighted Cross Road are scheduled this month to be bored under 414 hooked up this month. Also, the water service for Glenview sites on the top of Lake Street and Boyce is scheduled to be hooked up this month. Waiting on applications for new home on the south side of Light and Cross. Service to barn at up to 414. And pressure issue, 414 below Tug Hollow. Everything as far as water pressure is up to New York State code. We're required to provide 20 pounds PSI. The gentleman currently has 35 pounds PSI. There's 2 homes above him that have never complained.
Can you say it again? We're required to provide how many PSI?
So the water system,
20. And he's getting 35 at the house.
that's what it was the last time I was testing.
Okay, thank you.
This week, we did bring this up in discussion last month.
Uh-huh.
Since then, we've received 2 emails from him. We've shared that the state laws and regulations we shared with him recently that were within these parameters. And I think that you guys even suggested an option for increasing his household pressure if he wants a greater.
The way his water service comes in, it comes into a heated garage, and you could put a pump in with a wider tank if you want to put pressure in. I don't know if we should have to do that, but I believe he also used to reside on Beach Orchard Point where the pressure is much higher.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm sure it's a huge change.
Yeah, going down that hill, I bet they have quite a lot of pressure down there.
But,
What's the difference in pressure between our highest up house and our, lowest down house?
I believe right at the water plant before the pressure loosened pit, I think it's 180.
180. And on Peach Orchard, it's probably not quite that high, but maybe it is.
Below the pressure reducing pit down like near the shore, it's probably around 100, if not maybe a touch.
Wow.
See if the valves and keep it lower.
Uh-huh. They step it down.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Sure, but I could see if you'd move from there, how it would feel, like not very much pressure.
And we have a pressure reducing pit right above where this gentleman lives, and it was considered to adjust that, but that's all engineered. If we go adjusting that, we could blow off out services down on North Falls.
Huh.
And South Falls.
Uh-huh.
So it could throw everything out there.
So this is an unfortunate situation where we're in compliance and we're just not, but that being said, we're not satisfying
Mm-hmm.
the resident.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not much we can do legally to change that.
The good thing is he's got all the water.
Yes, I believe that's what it was.
And most campgrounds are 35. So I mean, it's when, yeah, they tell you not to go above that because you're gonna start blowing your PEX lines off.
Especially if they're using short plates.
Yeah.
The Department of Health is scheduled for a meeting next month, sanitary inspection. And we'll also discuss possible intake as a future water source.
How comfortable are you with discussing this computer system that we're in need of?
I'm gonna say we definitely need it. So it's our computer for a SCADA system. We had a power glitch.
Sorry, can you tell us what a SCADA system is?
SCADA system is our whole entire monitoring system that reports all the data from our filtration and our water system. And it is a must.
And then you are able to check it on your phones from home, or you have to be in the plant.
On the phone or from the laptop.
Okay.
Or I think we have to have it. But yeah, it's necessary. So right now there's actually some numbers that we can't get, which is just like our wastewater and stuff like that, but that's relatively consistent. So but yeah, we have to right now we can monitor the majority from the side of the filtration system. There's a monitor there that the majority of it. But this is something that needs to be done as soon as possible. And the computer is 20 years old.
So the problem is that the computer is not Windows 11 eligible. Do I see it's Windows 7 eligible?
But actually, you're right. That's not the problem.
Okay.
The,
I mean, that's what it said in the thing.
the issue, well, it got cooked in a power surge.
Okay.
And the issue is that the SCADA system actually runs off of Windows 7 and it can't. So part of the upcharge is this special patch to allow it to
Still
a
run.
brand new computer to still run the Windows 7.
Interesting. I was like, wait, this seems back. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, it is backwards.
Huh.
It's just the
Huh.
nature of the particular piece of
Huh.
equipment, unfortunately.
But they've safeguarded it from, they talk about like if you get a hack in your water system with an old computer. Huh. So we need a new computer, but
We need
it's
the computer, the
specifically just
specific
used
software.
for that,
Exactly,
for that system.
exactly.
Do you think you're gonna be able to get back to your history?
Hopefully, hopefully should be able to. Usually what we do is we go in every so often. And even in the evening, and everything, check the monitor and get the numbers, just to be sure. And our alarm system is still working too.
Are you gonna need additional assistance to install?
It'll be, I believe it'll be, pulse filtration. It'll be doing.
Yeah, this is.
I was a little confused because usually we let, is there a reason we are buying the computer from this place specifically? It's not a place we've bought computers from before.
This is the company that built the.
This is the
filtration.
SCADA system, folks. They sell the computer to you.
Well,
To
it's,
use.
so this, it's, software compatible with our filtration system, so that's the company.
Uh-huh.
This, so it'd be hard to get other competitive quotes because
There's.
You know, it's. You have your John Deere, you want to get it fixed, it talks to John Deere computers, it doesn't talk to international computers, it's one of those situations, so
Yeah.
kind of
Um,
hand to tie.
what's the urgency of this? Because I saw that it's subject to permissive referendum. So does that mean that it can't be purchased until the time frame for permissive
So what we
referendum
can
is passed?
do is we can give the authorization to move forward.
Mhm.
We can get this moving. The reason it's subject to permissive referendum is we'd like to spend this $15,000 out of the repair reserve because that's what it's there for.
Mhm.
If
And this is repair of equipment.
this bill would come due at the next board meeting, which is past the period of time of
For permissive referendum.
permissive referendum. They'll bring it in and get everything working, but terms of it will have, it could be here next week, but the terms of the payment will be, we'll
We
be
can't
paying
pay
for it.
until after the date has passed. for
Right.
permissive Referendum.
Worst case scenario, we can take it out of fund balance, but in my mind, it's repair reserve. This is a perfect example of
Mhm.
why we have a
Mhm.
repair reserve. The likelihood that more than 50% of the water district would sign on and demand a permissive referendum, I think is fairly
It feels low. Mhm.
low.
Could be,
It
but
could
it feels
happen.
low.
It could happen, but this is necessary for monitoring the function of the water system. But I think it's.
Now, will they protect it from surges better than the previous one was protected from surges?
I think it's just a combination of just a really old computer. It's been there since the water system, the infiltration system's put in 2007, 2000.
The computer itself is in the office or it's in
It's in
the
the
water
office.
plant?
well,
Is it
that's
water
where
plant
the
on,
opposite.
line it off, 'cause it's
No,
chlorine?
that's what I was asking, yeah.
But I
For years.
it's just not good. But yeah, it's very frustrating when we couldn't get back online, but it's,
Okay.
I mean, it is an emergency.
Mhm.
So,
So for now, you're just having to look at the physical readout on side. Do you guys like have a webcam on it so you can look at it from home?
No, because even if you delay too long, like like when you encrypt the tone, looking to access that, you have a little, almost like a fob, that you push the button, it gives you the access code right then, you got 30 seconds to punch it in.
Huh, huh,
So what's the total damages again?
15,000.
15,000 562.
That's a lot for a computer. I'd feel better if it wasn't called a computer. The monitoring system. Right.
So,
You are getting some support with the install.
yeah, they'll come and install the whole thing.
Okay. So we're more to it.
That or, Anthony.
Yeah, in coordination with Anthony, they're supposed to come and do like the technical parts. Yeah.
did we budget for that?
It's,
It's out of the
reserve.
repair reserve.
Okay.
Yeah, but, everybody, when they pay it, there's a surcharge on your water bill that
Okay.
everybody goes into this to repair things like this.
Right.
And then, because you didn't budget for it,
Yeah.
you have a repair that would devastate your water line, so this is the kind of item that, and that is what we were talking about with the permissive referendum. It is subject to permissive referendum, which means that Meredith will have to publish this in our newspaper of record. If enough people in the water district said we don't think this is a good idea, has to be over 50%, then we'd have to have a referendum as to whether or not we move forward. It only applies to the residents in the water district because they're the ones that pay for the water.
So do we have time to do?
It's, well, what we
what
will
do we in
do,
the meantime?
what we'll do, and we'll order it, we'll move forward with it by the next board meeting when we actually have to pay the bill. It'll have been past that time period. If on the very outside chance that we had enough signatures to force that, we can pay with it from fund balance, conduct the referendum.
And then
And
not my time, but
we just need a motion to authorize me to sign this contract and we
I'll make a
can,
motion that we replace the previous computer with the water district. Or the current recording system,
I second the motion.
or what was the dollar value again?
15,562.
Yeah, dollar.
I second the motion.
we have a first and a second. Are there any further questions or comments? And I think we all agree it's kind of crazy that we have to do it, but it is what it is. We have to do it to make the system work.
Aye.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Turns out you have to replace computers once every 20 years or so. Yes, so.
Talk to Scotty, he does his about every 6 months. In the truck.
Huh.
Same idea, right? When the truck goes down the international, about $1,000 for a new computer.
Right.
Code enforcement.
All right.
Jason, nice to see you.
You as well. I'll be pretty brief tonight. We issued 19 permits for April. 2 of them were decks, 4 were electric upgrades, 2 garages, 2 miscellaneous projects, 1 pool, 1 remodel, 3 roof replacements, 3 sheds, and 1 solar project. The issued building permit construction value was just under 382,000. The collected fees were $2,459.50. 2 other quick things. I didn't put it on my section agenda, but are we planning to attend as a group the SDC?
Yes, and we need to turn those in this month if you're planning to.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, that's a good reminder. Everybody needs to sign up for that. And
Do we sign up or do we just give our information to Meredith?
if you give the information, I can sign up for everybody who wants to go.
I would like to go.
okay, I'll send them, I'd like to go as well. I wasn't sure if we needed a resolution.
We made one
did.
last month.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
And you
No,
weren't
it's
here.
fine.
I
Yeah,
was, I had left.
you weren't here, yeah.
What, remind me what.
June 11th.
is.
June 11th is
The Southern
is
Tier
the
Central.
training session.
In Corning Community College.
June 11th.
It's a Thursday.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm planning to go this year. We don't
uh,
have to
what day is it again?
June 11th.
decide.
It's a Thursday.
We don't have to decide on
Right.
the person.
No. I'm not even sure they've publicized them yet.
Southern Tier
Central.
Central.
Regional planning.
Yeah.
So the tier region.
Corning Community College.
That's
They
right.
usually have it in April.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember, I went before.
They have like workshops on like highway law or like code.
Similar to
code
what I
enfor-
did in New York,
Yep.
scale down version.
Yes. Mhm.
And it's much less expensive. All right, I got everybody's name on there, so. I will get the registration paperwork done this week.
If you need any help with that, just let me know, I can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, everybody, the only other thing I had, this is more of an FYI, so at the the March meeting, you had approved Justin to sign the Burdette shared service agreement. Right before they were going to sign, their previous code enforcement officer reached back out to them and requested to be reappointed. So they declined to sign the shared service agreement and have since reappointed their previous code
So they have
enforcement.
their own now, they don't need
Yeah,
to.
correct, correct. So we did provide them with some support during the transition, but he's back and fully assumed the duties again, so.
And you're done, Elmira Heights has got themselves sorted now too.
Correct.
Cool.
Just in time for summer.
You'll just have to satisfy yourself just with us then, I
I-
guess.
And
Settle for Hector.
as busy as things have been, that's not necessarily bad.
Just in time for all those new deck permits that are gonna happen.
Yeah.
The water levels over go down.
Oh, the docks, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Fortunately, those are Army Corps engineer permits, so those are out of my
They're
jurisdiction.
gonna be busy, especially if they have to do the whole lake, you know.
Yeah, yes.
Not just, it's like,
Not just it's like, right?
That's
Thanks,
it.
Jason. Wow, we made you sit here all that time for that.
That's okay, I enjoy it, but I am going to.
You're going to Joanna's.
Yeah.
Right.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
We are ready for our park report.
Alright, we are open for the season now. Revenue, transient revenue, I have updated as of today, that's 53,905. And our seasonal is 6615. Boat launch update, it's messed, it is still closed. I've got signs at the top of the boat launch road to keep people from going down in there.
Have you had any problems with those?
No,
Because the water's so high?
yep, it's a mess.
And there's damage from
There's
this,
so much debris and
There's a lot of debris,
you
really.
can't even really get to the dock. They've got a plank that you can walk from land to the dock, but that's about it. Jason and I the other day did put sandbags on the docks, both of them at the boat launch.
To try to hold the boys down.
Trying to hold the pylons in to keep them from raising up and out. We figured the swim beach would be okay because it is in more of a cove, so hopefully it won't see too much damage.
Hmm.
So.
And we're not the, most of the boat launches around the lake closed.
Yes.
And there's a speed limit on the lake and there's a order to stay a couple hundred yards away from shore because of all the debris.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And anyone that asks anymore, I kind of just direct them to the sheriff's department because there isn't really much I can.
Where's the closest open boat launch? Just.
I don't even know.
I think Geneva. is one.
Yeah.
Lodi's closed and has a lot of damage.
Sampson's
Watkins is closed.
closed.
Watkins is
So,
closed too.
Yeah, Watkins Clue is closed.
Wow.
Can't really launch anywhere right
First
now.
time I've been through Watkins when I haven't seen boats on the dock.
Most of the
They're all
docks
gone.
are underwater.
Oh, the docks are underwater. I hadn't noticed, yeah.
Put them on.
Wow.
Yeah, next time we go to Watkins, look at the docks right there.
Yeah.
I was launching boats at the marina in Montour Falls.
Uh,
I think if the water
I'm
was
surprised they could
high,
get under the bridges though. You know, because when the water's high, sometimes the passage under the bridge is.
all I know is when I just saw somebody launching a party boat there. The water's high, but it's very hard all the way up the ramp. So maybe they have a launching fee or something.
Maybe they're just doing it.
Somebody, there's a lot of boats that were, stored over for the winter out of the water are in the water now.
In my door.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know where they went. They're not really at docks. So that's one boat launch. Still.
Hydrant work, we've been working with Josh and Jeremy to get some hydrants fixed. We replaced 3 within the last week or so. We do have an order of 10 hydrants coming from Johnny's Wholesale, but they're on back order, so we've been waiting. They did buy us, went down and purchased 3 aside that we could get immediately so that we could replace to function properly.
Hmm.
So, big thank you to those guys for that. Highway, they've assisted with, loads of dirt, to help get a few sites leveled out and, fixed in there. Same with road signs, we purchased a bunch of road signs and Doug and Brad came over and they helped get those in the ground and up, so those are all up. So big thank you to those guys.
911, we've got road names now.
Yeah, yep. And then a big thank you to Brad too from Highway for fixing the trailer. Cause we didn't have a light out and Jason was, looking to go get our equipment from Martin's. So he has done that and everything, so big thank you to him for that. We are looking to provide a Hector resident discount for the kayak launch. We're thinking about 50% off for Hector residents. And then proposing seasonal camper free use. So curious if, that is something that we can go with or.
Is it been to park committee? Is that what the park committee's recommending?
Yep, we've all discussed it in the committee and everything.
I'm just curious who would pay full price then?
Somebody in town.
Somebody out of town who's not staying at the park.
A
would pay.
transient camper from out of town.
It's just for
Oh, seasonal, not, okay.
Seasonal,
Yeah. That's why I was like, that doesn't.
Yeah, no.
Okay, no, I mean,
Just
seasonal, yeah.
campers.
I think that's great. I mean, I expressed my concern that I felt like that price was a little bit high, considering they were donated to us last month. I was expressing my concern, so I think that's awesome.
How many kayaks?
There's 8 and 2 canoes. I think there's 10. Something like that. I don't know right off the top of my head.
A couple of them were tandems and.
Yeah, a few were tandems, a couple singles, and then 2 full-size aluminum canoes.
We need a motion?
We need a resolution.
I'll make a motion to change the kayak and canoe rental pricing scheme to be 50% off for Hector residents and free for use for seasonal campers.
A second that.
And it's still first come, first served.
There time limits?
Yes. 1. I don't have it
It's
right in
like
front of
2
me.
hours, half day, full day.
Yeah, 1 hour, 2 hour, half day.
I would be very comfortable with this if the seasonal camper free use was like a 2-hour limit, if it was capped.
Right. Because
Maybe like a 4 hour.
Well, it's 2, 4 and full days, or it's 2.
1, I think it's 1, 2, and half day, which is 4 hours.
2 hours, half day, which is 4 hours, and a full day.
I'm not hung up on it. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. And if
Yeah,
people
you
that are
first have to
seasonal
know.
there, if people are coming and want to rent them and they're not there.
Yeah, I'm not against having a cap. That makes sense to me.
I think let's let it ride and see what happens. If the seasonal's literally always hogging the,
Okay.
then we could come back and revisit it to try to make sure everybody gets access. But
Right.
it also there might be a big push initially just because it's new and different.
You're right.
Once it's
What's the checkout process gonna be like? I mean,
So-
how will you know who has
Yeah,
them?
so the way I have it right now is hold harmless waivers and safety protocol paperwork is in the office. Same with life jackets and paddles.
The kayaks are in the greenway, but they have to come to the office.
Right, yeah, so they would come to the office, sign their waivers, receive a life jacket and a paddle, and then they would go down and get their boat. That's the best way that I've come up with as to how to do it for that exact reason, to kind of hold accountable as to how we make sure we get our equipment back and make sure, you don't get run off with
Yeah,
it.
because they have to bring those back to the office.
Yeah, they have to, they should bring back the paddle and the life jacket when they're done with their.
Right,
And if
You're
you
gonna
know
hold
Valerie's taking their name.
I mean, are you gonna hold ID or anything?
right. I was gonna say, cause that keeps people from taking the kayaks out without knowing who has, except it doesn't make them bring the things back to the office.
Right.
Does she hold that extra one there so she can go chase them?
So the kayaks would stay locked if they're not, if someone isn't around, like if I weren't on the property.
But I guess the thing is like, they have their kayak and their vest, and then they go out kayaking, and then they park the kayak, and then just leave their life jacket and vest and walk back to their site. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing
I
that
know,
makes
this
them.
is a lot, I have a lot of,
I'm with
bouncing
Anthony, like
around
maybe
ideas,
maybe
but I
they need
don't-
to leave a form of ID or
I
something.
know.
You know,
yeah.
like they leave their license, then they get, when they return the paddle and the vest, they get their license back.
Yeah,
We could give people rope and then rein it in too if it's problematic. If it is making a mess, if
Right.
people are doing
Right.
that scenario,
Right.
Yeah.
or bury or taking it out overnight or
it's
something
kind of
crazy.
just
But you
a,
could see people like, yeah, just bring it back to their spot and just like,
Leave
I'll
it.
use it again tomorrow, you know,
The
like.
nice thing is, you know, we have to pass, we still have to vote on this, but we have to pass the fee changes, but we don't have to pass through the board to change, they like, if we decide that we wanna hold an ID or hold something to enforce the proper return, we don't have to pass that
Because
through a
it's not a
board.
fee change.
Yeah, it's not a fee change.
Mhm.
It'll come to the board, but we
Mhm.
can say after 2 weeks, this is not working, we need to hold the driver's license.
Yeah, no, let's see how it
And
goes,
it's-
yeah. You
Well,
just hate to lose them,
right,
you know,
Yeah.
because.
right.
We need a $100 retainer if we want to take out the phone.
I
mean-
totally understand that.
Theoretically, what we will minimally have their name and information.
That's
on the
kind
waiver.
of where I'm at in
Right.
seasonals. I mean, if it becomes an issue with a seasonal, I have all of their
Right.
paperwork, they live on
Right.
site, so.
Right,
For the most part. Two, I do wanna point out seasonally, boat launch or kayak launch wise, it's not so much an issue as the, oh, thank you. It's not so much an issue of, the seasonals wanting to use the kayaks. Most of my seasonals have kayaks and they want the rack to place the kayak on.
interesting.
So, that's kind of where my seasonal issue lays with the kayaks, but
But the other side though is if we were seasonal and you have a kayak and you have guests come.
right,
Right.
then you kind of have that option that,
How hard is it to build a kayak rack? You know, maybe we could charge people to
well,
build a kayak rack and charge them to have a spot,
it's
you
an
know?
interesting thought.
I mean,
I sent Mallory a copy of kayak rack. Is it the other concern I have is if they're stored properly
they
upside
fill with
down.
water.
You're filled with water, mosquitoes, you know.
Yeah.
But they're a pretty simple rack. And basically, you could lock individual ones up, the locks for each individual.
Right. If that's really a thing
If
people
it
want, it
really
might
comes
not
to
be.
that, but I like Justin's idea. Let's let it go and learn from the experience.
Right?
Just keep us posted.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's call the question then, yeah. Aye.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye. Thanks for looking at that again.
Yeah,
That was a
absolutely.
concern for me.
I
So.
understand.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to propose that we move Jason Bond into our assistant manager position. And we appoint Zach Wire as our laborer.
Some history here. Zach worked with us all of a large portion of last summer in a community works program that was paid for by another organization. He expressed a great deal of interest coming back. He's a hard worker. There is enough work to keep him occupied. One of the issues we run into, however, is Jason as a laborer, which we had him in that position for a couple of years. It's all about the terminology with civil service. As a laborer, you are not allowed to direct anybody else.
Mm.
And another part of it is Jason has been deeply involved with the lifeguards over the years. Technically, he's not permitted to direct or give guidance to the lifeguards either.
Mm.
The movement of creating or giving him back the assistant manager position gives us some flexibility. He'd be able to manage Zach. He'd be able to assist with the management of the lifeguards. He has a certification for lifeguards that we need on site, which he should be in a position other than laborer to do it. Our laborer, or excuse me, our assistant manager position also, if you look at it, civil service, it's like its title is assistant manager, grounds facilities manager.
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna
that-
ask, cause I know last year he mowed both parks, so if he
He
is the
still-
assistant director.
He still do that. He is like facilities manager. It's a slash position that we created. So I know there was concern about other. It doesn't interfere with the other positions currently in the park. It's just gives us more flexibility. And actually, if the facilities manager, for example, as a laborer, if we wanted to rent a piece of equipment, technically he's not supposed to use that piece of equipment, but as a facilities manager, he can use any equipment we rent. So there are some benefits to making this move. Otherwise, rate of pay, hours in the season, et cetera, would remain identical.
I'll make a motion to appoint Jason Bond, assistant park manager, and to appoint Zach Wire, is that?
Yep.
Wire, a laborer.
I'll second it.
We have a first and a second. Any?
Does Zach need a hourly rate?
He's at $16 an hour.
This is just Jason's.
But Jason's is still the same. His is
Will be
$31.80.
no change.
There'll be no change for him. So we have a first and a second. Any further questions after the ones we just had? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Can I ask, is there another labor position?
There has been another laborer position created, and we actually have a candidate that has expressed a great deal of interest in.
And her name is Jess Roger.
We have another candidate who's expressed a great deal of interest applying. Well, she applied for a different position. The person that she applied against had the very focused experience for that position that she applied for, but the two of us that conducted that interview both thought, wow, this person would be great at the park. She has a lot of experience in community organization and stuff like that. So, and she would start tomorrow. So I want to get her in touch with you so that you.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yes.
Do we also need to appoint that person?
Not yet. We haven't gone through the process
So
of
we can
creating
move
the
it.
position, but we haven't interviewed or anything like that, and we haven't figured when it would start and in the time period we need to do all of that. But we do
Good.
have a person that's.
Brain did distract a lot. I said, oh. I know. She was not like, clearly not a person.
Yeah, so
Oh, that's especially to cover the weekend hours.
Yeah, so it's mainly to assist in the office when I or Maureen, mostly Maureen is around. Because it is a very hard struggle when I have customers and patrons coming into the office wanting firewood, checking in, but then I have a water hydrant or something that's blown, or I've got boat launchers. The boat launch is a mess, and I've got to go down and direct traffic. It's very hard to run back and forth and manage as one
Right.
person.
Right, yeah, it's a lot of ground to cover.
yeah, I was gonna say the park doesn't seem that big until you need to be in two places. At once.
Yeah.
Right.
We're a
Right.
good sprinter. Got my steps in.
So yes, let's talk Thursday,
Yeah, okay.
and we will get you in contact and get that all rolling.
Yes. Okay, last thing, well, one of the last things is our GRNC, the Newfoundland Dog Club. We have already approved and gone through their regular training dates that they asked for during the summer. These are the dates for use of the boat launch grass area. Mostly Thursdays, possibly Sundays, 7-5 and 9-6. They go elsewhere and they want to make sure they have backup in case that place comes up with say I have harmful algae bloom or something like that. They just want to have us in their back pocket. As far as these dates go, I looked on the calendar. They don't really interfere or disrupt anything. I worry about our June dates. As far as even being able to be in the water, I don't know if that's I don't know what that.
Those dogs have got good coats.
Yeah, I mean, as far as dogs and everything, I would personally think that it
I
would
mean,
be
that they're
okay.
getting training for water rescue, but
Right.
better, you know, this is maybe some real life
Right,
experience.
okay, well, then if there isn't really any issue or nobody sees an issue with that, that's kinda what they're asking.
This is our third summer working with them, right?
Yeah.
And they've been a
Fantastic.
great partner. The place is cleaned up, they take care of, it's a bunch of big dogs, they're not leaving a mess behind.
No.
They've been, any piece of information, they're, you know, we ask for this
Yeah.
piece of information and they come back with tenfold the amount of
Yeah.
information. So
Jean, her name is Jean Raish, she's the one that I deal with the most. And set all of this up with, she's fantastic. And they are very grateful to come to the park and be able to use the facilities and so.
it's really interesting
And it's
too.
neat, yeah.
It is very cool,
Put it on your
it's so
calendar.
fun to have all the big dogs everywhere, it's
Uh-huh.
pretty cool.
Where's their other spot?
It's at Cayuga Lake.
Cayuga Lake, thank you, it's in here,
Falls.
Kings Cove.
Yeah.
The only question I might have is on July 5th, which is July 4th weekend. Would we want to give them access? They would take up the whole grassy area, but people. I guess it, it depends, people aren't supposed to swim there anyway, but people like to picnic there.
Right.
July 4th is
It's
always pretty mobbed.
It's a,
What are the hours they typically are there?
11-4.
but it's where their backup location.
Yeah, that's why I asked where they're, so hopefully where to get it, they'd be able to.
You know,
see that.
if you go Lakeside Kings Cove experiencing a HAB event, with the exception of Sundays 7-5 and Sunday night 6 weeks. So I mean, the chances are we'd be in an issue with that situation on those Sundays. Probably this July 5th was probably not very likely. The HAB from to come later in the season.
We've already got them on TV.
I was gonna say, they reported the first halves of the season already.
Well, okay, our experience at Smith Park to date has been later in the
And then
season.
before the backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
Yep.
It is,
I appreciate that.
You any resolution for this?
This is informational.
Pretty much.
Right.
Okay, and
Way
then
too soon.
my refunds as listed, everyone lies within the guidelines, within their 30 days. So I would just ask for approval of those dollars.
Make a motion to refund money to, do I need to read them or is it just the list provided?
Let's read them.
Susanna Vosberg for the amount of $315. Taylor Burkow for the amount of $30. Chris Davy for the amount of $30. Andrew Brigger for $10. Sarah Pellegrino for $165 and George Force for $235.
Nice.
We have a first and a second. All in favor of issuing the refunds?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Question for you,
Yeah.
about assessing tree situation, Jason, and we're talking about the bond road comes down into the park. And the speed, some of those people that come down that road. Would installation of speed bumps? At the bottom or anything?
We can't, that road is public road, so we can't install speed bumps on that section.
Even after it enters the park?
After we enter the park, we have
We've already got the
four
speed bumps.
speed bumps in there.
Because Jason brought it up as a concern that right in the park, if we were entering the park with a higher rate of speed than what he would like to see.
We can't do anything until the stop sign. After the stop sign,
Okay.
it's,
Now, is there a speed limit sign?
that I don't know, we can make sure that there's, I think there's one way, but it might only be way at the top.
Yeah, I think it's
All I
30.
know is you bring a camper or a truck down through there, it is a higher rate of speed than you should.
Could we have like a steep hill sign up?
There is a steep hill sign and that I believe says 20 mile an hour, the truck, like down, as
So-
you're coming down it.
Uh-huh.
But
We do have an individual that is responsible for signs and making sure where signs are appropriate. Talk to him and see if there are additional signs that should be placed coming down the park, so I can
There are
talk
the
to,
ones that we have, correct?
I can talk to Scott Thursday about,
Maybe we could, reassess the location.
Yeah, I'm open to that. I know we talked
I know
about
Jason
top
brought
ahead
it,
sign.
started it, after driving the camper truck, stop on a dime, people pulling the project. So you get kids running around and
Fair. Very valid. We do have one other item under park. We have to, Maureen's appointment is for 6 months. And so we need to change the date of her appointment. Because we gave her we gave her like 6 months and 3 weeks. So we need to change the dates of her appointment. And so I'm going to resolve to amend resolution number 81, passed on April 14th, 2026. Changing the date for the appointment of Maureen Levin to be April 13th, 2026 to October 13th, 2026.
I second the motion.
We have a first and a second. Any other questions? This is strictly because she's a part-time seasonal employee and you can only appoint them for 6 months at a time. If we choose to, if something's happening at the end of that period, if we want to bring her on for a couple more weeks, we can do that again, but we have to do it as a separate. All in favor?
I-
Aye. Right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Valerie.
Mecklenburg Park,
Good evening.
good evening.
Well, I can report a little bit about several different things. We got, the pollinator garden well under development as the sustainability reported. And, several things going forward there. The tulip trot was a big success. We had the most number of people we've ever had. Had over 60 in the 5K. Yours truly did the 5K in less than an hour, I want you to know.
Well done.
Needless to say, I walked it.
Mhm.
We had a very successful one. We had a separate course of 1 mile we had a request for some additional kinds of ladder surfaces for certain individuals. And we had a small number of people that took advantage of that. So the most number of runners we've ever had, we had a beautiful day. It was great. Last year it was pouring rain, so this was a welcome.
It was chilly though.
It was chilly. It started at 47 degrees,
Yeah.
it warmed up a little bit. Yep.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
That's good.
No,
That's good.
that well.
Were you able to raise much money?
And the tulips were up and blooming.
The tulips were up and blooming.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we were between $3,000 and $4,000
That's
for
great.
it, so that was great, that was
Great.
great. As a matter of fact, we got money back from Falcon because, of the number of registrations that we had, so. That offset what they charged us for doing the race timing. So,
Cool.
nice. Pollinator garden, I mentioned that one. The bridges, we got the grant for the bridges, and our problem with that is everything is so wet and muddy. We really can't get in there to get the foundation concrete blocks started. So that's gonna be probably end of June by the time we're able to get in there and do that, end of June, beginning of July. We've got some time constraints because I believe that's got a certain time frame they have to be completed by. So we're getting that done. We just are gonna be a little later than planned, no different than the farmers. The pavilion, just got this glorious thing from Jason. It's called a building permit. So the pavilion, we are meeting tomorrow night with Rob Cassetti and Luke McIntosh at the park to go over specific area, specific size, et cetera, et cetera. Talking about getting the lumber ordered and how we do it, where we do it, and so forth. So we're underway with that. Luke has said that they are finishing up several jobs right now, and that also is now scheduled in the July timeframe. We had thought it would be easier to do the beginning of the season for them, but hey, if it's gonna be July, that works for us. So that's the current schedule on that. The, those are the main things that are going on. Obviously, we finished with the tulip trap, the pollinator garden, oh, by the way, is 3 times the size that we started out with, but it's going very well. And like I said, the bridges are in process, the pavilion's in process. Now, we had an interesting situation. We had a few too many projects that were going. And we had a grant to do a dock, which had to be completed by July. And Becca was able to speak with them, and we are able to use that money for our bridges. So we are going to be able to do that, and that will help us. You just get a few too many projects going. Gotta go with you know, who we've got available to help and so forth.
So there won't be a dock yet,
Yes, yeah,
but but the bridges will.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. That's gonna be a bigger project.
Okay.
The summer plans, you know, we talked a little bit last year about the pavilion, and once we get this pavilion up, we've got the little one, of course, already. And we talked about maybe doing something like, you know, every second or third Sunday or something, for 2 or 3 months during the summer, and kind of getting a reaction from the community as to how they liked it. And I think that that's what we're going to try to do. And Melissa had a great idea, and maybe trying to get the ice cream guys, like the ice cream bar, up to the park. So that might be something. Try a Sunday ice cream at the park type of thing.
Cool.
So we're talking about 2 or 3 different things. We haven't formulated any specific schedule yet. We've got a general meeting here on the 19th. And those are some of the things that we'll be bringing up at the general meeting. And, you know, hopefully we can get some input from musicians as well as community and get a few things set up. And we discussed, we haven't really discussed, you know, what the schedule is yet, but like I said, we think we were looking at a Sunday afternoon, looking at something that's just casual, not any big affair like Oktoberfest or anything. But that's what we're looking at right now. So those are pretty much the plans for now and through the summer.
Thanks.
Excellent.
That's great.
Congrats on the successful fundraiser too.
Yeah, yeah. No, we had lots of good people turn out.
Excellent. Well,
Thank you.
thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And Meredith, you're up.
Okay. So between the pay to the supervisor, between the general fund and the court account fund, $2,760.65 was paid to the supervisor. For the New York State DEC house, there's $28.35. For the animal control fund, $31 went to them, and the New York State Health Department for marriage licenses, there was $22.50. There was just for next month, because it'll appear on next month, we've already had a donation. New York State has a law that there needs to be a donation line for animal donations to a shelter. So with that, we found out at conference that there's a lot of people that didn't know that this was passed in January.
Where is the donation?
So I need a resolution. Typically, what happens is that it gets paid to the shelter that the town works with for spay and neuter or just animal
For
control.
the sheltering,
anyways.
the sheltering contract.
So we use the Southern Tier Animal Control. So currently, that's what's on there. So it can be, it's technically supposed to be paid out yearly. There should be a budget line for it, or you can pay it out. There is an option to pay it out monthly. And that could go two ways. You could just send it monthly, or I could pay it to the supervisor, and then the supervisor would keep track. I would break down the donations. Supervisor would keep track at the end of the year. Via the Williamson Law Book program, I can print out the total and I would just hand it to Justin. Or I would do a bills to be paid and it would just come out of that line that he would, when I paid it to him, that he would
Because
transfer.
Williamson already added that line.
He
in there.
added it, so the budget line, Justin, the budget people that do stuff for the town would have to create that, so that would be Kathy, Jean, and Justin would.
Oh, it's
make
not
that
actually
budget
Williamson that adds that
So,
line to our.
Just to
No.
clarify, this is like you get your renewal or you license your dog for the first time. There is a line on there that if you so choose,
You can donate.
you can make a donation to the shelter in question. This is not, the town is not going to be donating or taxing and donating additional money. This is for residents if they.
But it's a
choose to-
state law that we have to include that on the dog license.
Now, yes,
Interesting. Well,
there needs to, so the resolution that I would need is just for that line to be,
add to the dog license renewal.
we are, it's who we it's the donations, instead of just saying donate to blank and then being like, we're gonna donate to, like, everyone chooses 10 different donations and then keeping track of the donations made to a specific shelter. It is just us setting that shelter as where we're going to.
And we send dog licenses out. There's every month,
Every,
renewal every month.
yes.
Uh-huh.
And so,
So we need to update our renewal form so that includes
it is.
a line, and then we need to have, make a resolution saying that we'll pass the money from that donation on.
Well,
line
right.
on.
Or that we set the shelter. So like we could do the SPCA of Skyler County. You could do the Elmira Heights. You could do Southern Tier. From what I've seen, a lot of people are just going with who they use or who they're contracted with,
Shelter,
because it's just easier to do it that way.
Mhm.
So
So the proposed resolution is resolved to approve the shelter donation line to Southern Tier Animal Control as they are the shelter we use for the town. The donations to be paid out monthly or yearly.
So you guys can decide if it's monthly, what would happen is I would just print one of these out and it would just be paid out of. I would write the check because it's going into the clerk account. I would just write the check to them and just do the donations.
I think we should do it that way.
Or it can be paid out yearly, less messy, but. And then I would just go back and make sure that all of my donations at the end of the year match what the monthly report says for the donations.
Maybe annually would make more sense. This is probably not gonna be that much more.
Yeah, but I also think if shelters have a cash flow problem, it'd be more helpful than for them to receive the a donation
Seems
monthly.
reasonable. That seems reasonable.
You know, I agree, it'd be way easier to do it yearly,
But
but
every penny could be helpful.
that's where I'm leaning.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we're gonna go monthly and.
Look at the interest of the town.
Yeah, right, if there's that, yeah. I mean, that's my suggestion. I'd be open to,
I'm open to that. Anybody?
Do we have a motion?
Well, we'll have to do a
Yeah,
motion to,
Sounds like Liz made one.
I make a motion that we update our dog license application to include a donation line that specifies donations will go to Southern Tier Animal Shelter,
animal control.
Animal Control, and that it be paid monthly by the clerk. Does that include everything that you?
I'll second.
We have the first and the second. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
and then, the Ducker status for William Brown or Skylar Record. That needs to be discussed again.
Yes,
And
Jeremy's here to discuss that.
So my father asked me to come over and represent him. I was not able to make it tonight. And I'm just curious what the issues are with not passing that.
You familiar with the law that's on the books?
As far as the fence. So when the fence was installed, and this was back in mid to late eighties, there was under agreement before then, the fence that was put up was made out of constructed out of raw cut lumber. And eventually were rot away, it's not gonna last long. Trees were also put in place to take places of the fence. Those trees are there. Now, everything visible from the road is either equipment waiting to get worked on or vehicles waiting to get worked on, because my father's still registered repair shop. Now, I have pictures, if you'd like to see, and I also have lines drawn up where the trees were planted, and they're existing now.
That'd be helpful.
Would you like to see?
So what you're saying is around the junkyard, there's trees planted.
Yes, from visible from the road to block.
Uh-huh.
Was that what the state allows? Give you a fence or trees?
This is town.
Oh, okay.
So what my understanding was because of the
The red
elevation.
lines, the highlighted red lines are where the trees were planted and the two that go north and south, those were where the fence was. And a lot of this also came from a disgruntled neighbor my father had years ago.
Hmm.
And the fence was about 8 feet high, say max 10. The elevation of the road, the junkyard is still visible. Now, when green up is here, the junkyard is not visible. So, and the trees that go east to west are evergreens. So they block a lot.
Yeah, you can see the hedge. They've got the, so what kind of trees are?
Spruce. North and south, I believe there are pines, and then there's some locusts. The ones east to west are, I believe, are spruce. So I also have. That's a picture from the junkyard driveway looking at the trees that go north or east and west.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I guess I don't know what the actual wording of our law is. I was just seeing if it's posted on our website.
Yeah, there should be.
And this is the white pines that are by the primary shop on the other side of the willow.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is too, it's been okay for well over 30 years.
It hasn't been in compliance though with what I didn't write this law, I'm just here representing the
I
town.
understand that we reconstruct the fence and it's 10 feet high. It's not, the trees that are there are already doing that. And anything visible from the road is anything to be repaired or it's equipment that we have or classic cars. The fence would have to come up closer to the road to block that view. Yes, and the property has been subdivided. My mother has the 5 acres by the road. So. Can't put it up there.
Unfortunately, at some point in the 1980s, the town gave this directive, even though it was in conflict with the law.
Is it the town's law or it's the state's law?
It's town.
So I don't see the wording for the law on our website, so I mean, I'm just going with what I've been told since I was on the board, which is you must have a fence, but I guess the question is it an exclusion fence or a view blocking fence? I mean, I've never actually seen the wording of the law, so I guess I don't know what we're, you know.
It's in the law.
I would say let us research what it says in the
The whole, all the local laws are.
Right, but
My
there is
concern
one that
is
says
it's never
junkyard.
been an issue
There isn't one
for all these years, and Mike Cox's junkyard, there ain't no fence. If it's there, it's halfway down, there's.
That's on 227 or on 79?
There.
He's not applying for permits.
Yeah.
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 He's another one.
I thought the one was on 79. This was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
That was all true. And are we getting any complaints on it? There's complaints throughout the town of Hector about just junkyards in general, or? Well, I think in general, there's been a lot of people who have mentioned things to me about
not only your location, but others in the town of Hector. And I think it's generally, it's not something that people want to see. If things are organized and set in roads and look like it's some sense of organization, might be looked upon a little differently, but when it's haphazardly tossed.
I understand that, and everything down below that tree line.
That doesn't help the whole situation.
It's set in rows, but are we being thrown in the category with the same thing over on 227 over here? Because that's not a licensed junkie, right?
No, I understand that those are complaints that I hear also from the same.
Yeah.
But it's
I
not
think
just.
we're gonna have to ask our code enforcement officer and also look up the law, but
Yeah.
is it fair to say, let us look into it and get back to you?
Has the check been cashed?
Yes. It was part of that.
So we already paid for a license that we don't have.
Yeah, that's a good point. Are you pulling it up on the website? Cause I didn't find it on the website.
Okay, New York, the New York State Consolidated Law. Okay, we must have a local law because it says you either have to have a zoning ordinance or a local law.
You've printed out and given the local law.
I think we have, yeah.
That's interesting, cause I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's not. Can't put it on the website.
I don't think it's on.
They just,
It's
I
not
don't,
on the website.
so
I just looked for it.
I have local laws from when the town was, like, they first started, like, they're all in the vault and they're all in like a binder. I don't necessarily know when things started getting uploaded to the website or like how they were uploaded and loaded.
It was just what was on the old website, and I don't know.
So it might not
How that
have,
was
we might
chosen.
not have updated it yet, so that can be.
Why don't you look and see what you can find or send a copy?
I know Diane Tabor uploaded everything. She worked with Jane to do all of that. So I don't know why it wouldn't be on the website. I know that there is a specific website. Jane had me look on it before. And it has to do with local laws.
Yeah.
So if it's not on the actual town website, it should be on that because Jane said that she did update everything. So if it's not on this one, it should be on that one.
I think what you're talking about is, I'm not certain about this, but when I've looked up laws, the New York State has if towns have uploaded it to the state website, New York State has, like, if you Google the laws, town Hector, junk car law, or junk law, whatever you call it, then it would come up on that website. If it got sent in. But there's a lot of local laws that are not on the website.
Can we table this for now?
Hold on a second. In this connection, the governing board may consider collectively the type of road surfacing the junkyard or from which the junkyard may be seen, the natural or artificial barrier protecting the junkyard from view, the proximity of the proposed junkyard to established residential and recreational areas or main access routes there too, as well as reasonable availability of other suitable sites for junkyard.
So natural barrier.
So in this state law, it does talk about the option of the governing board depending.
Well, I do know there's a short, succinct.
Yes.
Town of Hector law that we should all be able to look at and move forward. So I think what Mike just said, tabling is the only realistic thing right now.
Well, Jason, we have more information on it too.
Meanwhile, Mike Cox got approved on the second thought. And not with her check is already cashed. Table again.
you're asking us to push something through where the board doesn't have
I'm asking you to
information.
put something through that's been put through for 35 years.
That doesn't mean it's been right, that it's been there for 35 years. That, your dad's spot has impact on the neighbors and on town.
Our neighbors have never been, since the one bad one moved out, have not given us any issues. And I mean, I know you said you got emails. Is it the rest of the board got emails on this or texts or anything?
I was approached directly.
Okay.
I've been approached directly about it.
Wasn't my.
Man, hey, I asked how many people. Only that full. There's 4,900 people.
I understand, but if I went out and asked if there was put up posting on there and said, please respond if you're pro or con junkyard, I guarantee you could hit up with a lot more people. A lot more.
I'm sure I can find a lot of people that don't really mind it.
No, I understand. I'm just saying it's just because we don't see the numbers there doesn't mean that there isn't any opposition against junkyards in general or, you know, other places around the town of Hector that are unsightly that drive property values down, you know, right next door. I mean, that's a concern.
And property.
I'm just saying that's where a lot of the people are complaining is that they have a house, somebody comes in, drops something directly across the road.
But that has nothing to do with the junkyard, that's the local law with vehicles and other stuff.
Yeah.
This is as an operating business in
That's
town
the way I'm
of
feeling there. I feel that
Yes.
we're being thrown in a different category.
There's a lot of people that are opposed to vehicles sitting in people's lawns with no plates. That's why you're allowed one unlicensed vehicle. This is an operating business off the main road in the town of Hector that's been there for a long time.
I'm just saying that people look at it as one thing, maybe
Well,
skewed both those issues. There are separate issues, but I think it's skewing the fact that, well, it looks like a junkyard when I drive by. May not technically be a junkyard, it might be an operating business.
well, there's only two technical junkyards and
I'm saying people don't segregate those two issues apart, even though you're right. They're two separate issues, but they get blended together based on the fact that they both are very close to each other. Is it one man's junk is another man's
I heard a
trash?
motion to table it. I second the motion to table this and return to it after consulting with the Jason, the code enforcement officer. If the question is the money, I mean, I don't know, we shouldn't have cashed a check until we had approved it, I guess, so.
I can write you.
I mean, we could do that until the matter's dealt with.
That's not necessary.
I mean, I think it's just a question of. I've never seen our actual local law, so
I think we need clarification.
I think we just need clarification, yeah.
If we get clarification and set a direction, that the situation may be resolved as a result of that, but that we need clarification, so we're all on the same page and we all understand what we agreed to.
That and for future, complaints, future complaints that the board might get is licensed junkyard, knowing where it is versus being thrown in category, maybe explain to the taxpayer the difference.
I agree with that. We should have our wording correct.
And you're right, it's also not fair if the other junkyard's fence is not in good stead. And that's the question. I mean, we're gonna have to look into it. And it is at this moment double standard, which we hope to just give us a little while to look into it and then we'll get back to you.
Okay, we may need to take a step back just to straighten things out. And then go forward.
You're happy with that?
I don't know. I'm sure he'll be here the next one, so.
Perfect, because then we'll be ready to talk about it. We'll have gotten a chance to look into it, but.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep. If you have any more questions, just reach out.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good evening.
You too.
We have a vote on the resolution.
Well, we don't have to.
You don't have to vote to table it. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't table it,
Okay.
technically. All right. You have one.
Just checking who's gonna look into that and.
We'll find a local law. We have
Okay.
state law up there that did talk a great deal
If you could
about.
send both to
Yeah.
us, then that'd be helpful.
Yeah. And I wish we could find where the board had directed them
I
to.
sent a text off to Diane just now, just to ask her if she happened to know where to put her hands on it. She said basically, I don't remember them having any local laws for the junkyard. Jason codes should know. So.
Let's move
Unless it's
forward.
under
Yeah.
code.
Well, we'll need to move forward because it wouldn't be under codes, it would be in the local law order, so. I asked her to put dumpster day on there, just say we're moving forward. I'm gonna discuss with Scott about highway crew. And I'm gonna make it clear that minimally, at least at the Hector location, we need somebody that can stay to the end because last year our assistance was great, but the problem is when we really needed it is
I
when we
don't know
left.
that they have to come at the beginning until the dumpsters get pretty full, like even if they just came from.
Side doors open.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
of them
people,
open or were some?
no,
No,
all of them open.
Even
it's
if they
like-
came at noon to,
Yeah,
and
or 1 o'clock, you know, like they don't have to be there at 8 a.m.
well, if they're coming in, if we need to, we have to give them a 4-hour
Okay,
shift,
but-
so.
But I'm saying, like, they don't have to, if they can't stay the whole time, they should come for the end, not the beginning.
Yes.
Last year they came for the beginning, but they weren't there when we
Really
really
needed
needed
them.
them. Yeah. I mean, it was okay,
It
but
was dangerous, honestly. For us. Like
Fine.
jumping up onto them and smashing people's stuff. It's like,
uh-huh.
At the beginning though, they need to somehow label what dumpsters they want what.
Yeah, we've got signs.
We've
We
got
just
signs.
Yeah,
gotta
but I
do
mean,
that.
you know, you're talking about beginning and end. I just know that I think they had the problem at Mecklenburg where they had stuff put in the dumpsters already.
The day before.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, as soon as the dumpster gets put there, somebody needs to put a
It
sign
would be
on
good
it.
to have one labeled metal and the rest is
Yeah.
the other products. And eventually we can work on getting somebody to cruise around and at least identify one dumpster at each location for metal, so that people are.
Are we doing a swap meet at Mecklenburg?
There was no one available to do it. It sounded like everybody was involved with the Porch Fest in Trumansburg and nobody was free to run the swap meet.
Okay.
So this year there's not.
So, beyond making sure we have after hours crews or.
I've gotten a bunch of promotion up. I haven't gotten to Mecklenburg Fire Department. I'll get there this week. And I need to get to the VLH as well.
Do we have a list of who's where? I'm planning to go to Hector.
Well, that's true, that's before the next.
Yeah, we have to.
I mean, we could asynchronously.
Yeah, that's
So,
fine.
I've only got a new location, need somebody.
Figured I'd go to Mecklenburg again.
Okay.
If you're gonna be Mecklenburg, I'm gonna go to Hector.
Anthony, you wanna go to
I'll
Hector?
do whatever I can float around like I have in the past years, be here and then go there, but it seems
But
like.
we have
Peter's
highway
close.
folks here. I don't know that we
That's
need.
yeah,
generally the most.
Yeah.
I'm happy to go back there.
That would be great, and
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'll have to reach out to Jane, see how she gets in touch with the sort of the standard crew that always shows up in Hector.
Uh-huh.
What
In Mecklenburg.
in Mecklenburg, I
Mike,
mean,
can
there's
you bring equipment to
I usually always bring that. I've always brought a loader of some sort.
just, mhm.
Because I don't like picking up all this stuff. either.
Uh-huh, yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I mean,
So
that's,
Mark, you want to
Mark-
come to Mecklenburg?
it seems like.
Yeah, I'll go back, that's what you need.
Jess, you gonna volunteer, Hector?
No,
And Jess was doing
I'm actually
Mecklenburg before, so.
I'm actually going through and gonna bring stuff to dumpster day for the first time.
Oh, good for you.
Swap me.
Forget.
Well, I'm disappointed we're not having a swap meet in Mecklenburg.
Yeah, nobody,
Who got contacted?
I talked to Mia.
Just you guys, we're gonna send out. a list.
She said, she asked around, and she couldn't find anybody who could do it. Everybody was involved in Porch Fest.
Don't hear anything about it.
Bummer. You're welcome to come over to Hector, help at our swap meet. It's pretty fun.
Get yourself an aquarium.
A spare fridge, dryer. Last year you could have gone home with a dryer.
Last year we did a good job posting online, and then when people show up and take them away.
Uh-huh, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, that's
magical.
what we did at Mac too.
This year, maybe I'll post the day before. Tomorrow's a swap meet.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know.
And then follow up with
Yeah.
these items that are available.
Yeah, maybe I can make myself a note. I invited George here tonight, Justin, so I didn't know when we got to your report. If
Yep, that's I saw him on there, so I was gonna ask if we want an update for tomorrow night's
Mhm.
um
Okay.
meeting. So if we're done with dumpster day, I'm gonna move on, and we do have one appointment we need to make. We have a new cleaner. And so I'd like to resolve to appoint Cheyenne Calhoun as a cleaner effective April 29th, 2026 at the rate of $21 an hour.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. All right, we can bring George on.
All right, George, we're ready for you now. Sorry about that.
George?
Frozen.
We just had him. There he is. Hey, George.
Oh, yeah,
Hey, George.
sorry, I had to turn the light
Turn
on.
up
It
the
was
volume. Hang on
dark.
one second, George. We got to turn up the volume on our end.
Okay.
Try it again.
Okay, how's this?
No,
Hang on. Maybe it's the TV.
Well, let me check my volume here. Is this better?
Still no. Keep giving us a test here.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
there we go. Okay. Okay, speak up. Yeah. So, yeah, tomorrow night, looking good. I have actually two students will be coming to Hector, and really I'll start the meeting introducing it and really explaining that the meeting is the beginning of a process, a conversation, a dialogue over this draft comprehensive plan. It's pretty sure it's not final at all. It's really going to be a working draft that the community can work on with me over the next 6-7 months until it's a plan that the community can accept that reflects Hector's and the needs of the Hector community. Okay, so what, 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. at the Beloit Logan Hector.
Okay, we'll be there about 15 minutes before. I forgot to ask, is there like monitors and screens and stuff for PowerPoint, or should we bring everything ourselves?
They do have a screen. I don't know.
I think they have a projector on the ceiling.
Projector in the ceiling.
Okay. Okay, then that'll be fine. I've got the cords and everything. And so hopefully to see you guys tomorrow evening.
Thanks, George.
Okay. Have a good night.
Thanks. Yep, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session for 15 minutes to discuss open contract negotiations.
I second the motion.
We have a first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
It's 8:49 p.m.
I paused the recording, but it is streaming. Jess, nice to see you.
Too. It's for you.
Awesome. You have them with you?
Only two so far.
That's okay. I was just saying today, I wonder if Jess has any buckets, but I was like, I texted.
Like, slow, but then I was like, where are we going? Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Let's go in here.
Are we going that way?
I didn't even think about that. Right here, my office there. Yeah.
Well, now you're in your business.
I find it good.
We'll start stacking up.
Right.
Yeah. Margaret dinner smelled good. I don't know what it was, but I was like,
Stuffed baked potato from Frosty Ever.
oh, I was like, I don't know what I'm smelling, but it smells amazing. And then I was like, oh, it's far. Bacon. Bacon. I was going to the store. Oh no, that's the time to eat. What's this? It's just, it's for the town detector. No, it's, they're just having it with the, and the firehouse. Yeah. They're redoing the comprehensive. So we're going to zone. Land use. You know, I don't have any first time. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen anything every time it's about it around when they should be. It's not.
Because all it says is public meeting conferences around the website.
Meredith, was there meeting on the website? No. Because I didn't realize that it needed
Knows about it, nobody, yeah.
it's on Facebook and I sent out a notification because I didn't realize that it needed
You should have
legal
been
notice.
Watkins review.
Yeah, which was a legal notice.
You sent out a notification to who?
Anyone that signed up or subscribed to e-notifications on the website, from the website.
Thought I subscribed, yes I did. I'm on for general now. Yeah. And I had no idea we weren't for this lab meeting, I was doing it, I heard, well, I've been doing the exact same thing, really, no. Who did she ask? I don't know. I mean, good question. It would be nice to have more than one person contacted, I mean, I've been working it for, I would say, so, X number of years. I mean, we just put some soft off the side. Well, I know, but it just is frustrating because they might be able to put it on the website. If they, it seems like you would contact the people that were involved with it, and I think that's why everybody's when you got someone with that. You know, you would think they would come to something local. That's not what they used to be. No, yeah. No, that's true. No. I'm trying. What did you say? Mother's Day, Saturday, I took back me and my mother to Libby County and this hotel and restaurant. All over it is, yes. I yellow, yeah. I used to go to the home. Right. Like the 80 something. And so we went through with them, so you know, to get 17C and the side road and the way we got home. Yeah. We had 11 of us and we did the brunch and the breakfast at the Legion, and they had really nice. American Legion people. And one of my friends said they went 2 years ago and they did orders. She took your orders. She said, took us almost. And I'm like, so I called up and I said, is this the full stuff? She said something about, you wanted, order in the personnel. No, she said, well, first of all, she said it was a mistake that it got printed at the now, what's going on. And she said, it's the buffet style. And we got there, we all met at 9:30. And they had a really nice buffet. And very smartly, they had all the food in little separate little food cups. And so that was really a smart move. It keeps things together. And they had lots of juices. They had the scrambled eggs, the bacon, the sausage, the pancakes, the French toast. And it was, they were very organized. Yeah, they were very organized. No, we haven't always been. No. Yeah, and yeah, you never know. I mean, unfortunately, in the region, there's too many people on. Yeah. We used to get a big workforce, and that was just not going to go. The rest of the organizations. Between the back and something, they have a different amount of people. They put people in so many people. Unfortunately, I don't like this side. Just like our church, anybody who has a very few church buildings. So where are you guys going from? I don't know where people are going. I think, I think there's some resistance to do healing loss, so I mean, there are good plans. Truth is in that, there's. No doubt, everyone's heard. What do you want? A lot of people, I know some people are going to that church. It's a big deal for church. How do you know? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna, right here.
There is no local law. We followed the 136. So there is not going to be one on the website.
It's New York State.
Before I took over, Jane said that she had uploaded everything to the website, that's a local law. So it makes sense that it's not there because it was never a local law.
So they're trying to enforce something that technically the town doesn't have. So now you have to follow state regs, right?
Yes. And the state regs, Justin was reading,
So you can have
it
a
sounds like
tree-
trees are acceptable.
You can have a tree barrier.
Yes.
So I guess if worst comes to worst, they may have to put up a couple panels in between the tree or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because he said that it was evergreen, so that means where it is visible from the road, you should be able to see it even in the winter, because it's still there.
Yeah,
Makes me feel better.
yeah, well,
But there's no local
it's a
law.
lot to, it's, well, you know, when you get first starting out, there's a lot to,
Right.
you know, for you. I
But-
mean, trying to get everything in your brain. I know you want to take
Dana was
that.
on top of her local law. Of all things, she
Well-
made sure that,
Two dog cards, okay, so those two places, yeah, they get, one's got half a gate, the other's got trees. This guy down on 227, well, shit,
who's that?
Jerry Bradford.
By Willoughby?
Yes. He should have a fence up. At least. in
But
the-
that would be a code thing. If there was anything for that, that would be Jason, correct?
DEC's been there and wrote tickets and everything, he never paid them, he's got tickets issued from DEC from 2 years ago.
Oh,
He's never done anything. And I think Jason gave up, he's been there. It's, I don't know, that's just wrong, you know, to try and enforce it on ones that have been here 30 years, and then you got that mess. It's just-
well, what could they? Could they do anything other than issue them a ticket?
I think the way the law reads in the town. On personal property, if it holds value, so if you have, let's say you have a 5-gallon pail. If somebody wants to give you 50 cents for that pail, you can have 100 pails laying in the dooryard, cause it holds value.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think that law is for that, 'cause I think Jane looked that up at one point. And, it said anything of the value. Well, like Mark Taylor said, one person's junk is another person's treasure, so,
Honestly,
you know, it could be valued somewhere to somebody. So it's, to me, everything is vague. It's, you know, we only have 2 junkyards in town, so I guess nobody ever really spent a lot of time on it, you know, actually writing a local law. Well, they may,
maybe we need to now.
I was just gonna say, they may have to now. But if I was Joe Brown, I would look at my tree line and I would think I would take some posts and if I need to put up some panels, that's what I do. Cause it just says barrier.
Yes, but it says, environmental barrier fence or some type of fence. It doesn't have to be,
Right.
like, it could be like the fence that you keep dogs in. It has like the wire, the
Sure.
triangle.
Sure.
From what that states, as long as there's fence.
Right. So, you know, maybe we have to do something like that, but I mean, it's so, what do I wanna say, spread out. It's not specific. I know, I don't think.
Sometimes I
Yeah,
wish Jane would sit up too.
Well, she did it so long, she knew everything by heart. You will too. Like, I mean, Mike Cox is no.
Sometimes I'm like, yeah, what she said.
Yeah, what Jane said, do it. She's right. Do what Jane said. Yes. Exactly.
But then Mike
She's my Bible.
Yes, and Mike Cox down in Bennettsburg, he's in no way in compliance. He's on a state road right there. At least Joe Brown's down half a mile down his driveway on Hogan Road. I mean, it just doesn't sound like it has to be that difficult, but maybe it's gonna be. I don't know, I had a nice visit with your mother the other day at Kinney's. Yeah, you said you got a puppy. Yeah. Ryder, what kind of golden retriever? Oh gosh, they're so cute. Yeah, and it's being a good puppy.
Yeah, he likes to body slam the back of my leg as I'm walking away.
Well,
You just feel.
don't throw your hip out.
No, I just had that right prepared. Oh, I need that. I don't want to do that again. I'm all
Write
right.
that down. Oh. Oh. Hmm.
I agree, but but yeah, having it outside, I think that we will. Right. That's the one. Down. Pull out.
It's been 15 minutes. Yeah. Been 1:15. I know. This is going quicker than it was. It's Sunday, you really was at 10 o'clock. That was last month. Yeah. I've been mowing lawn since about 1 o'clock this afternoon, got done about 6:30. So I'm ready to hit my chair. I'm ready for a nap. Yeah. Yeah. I have I brought the cannabis before he was crazy, but then I'm on telephone and I'm like. And he's running on good days, like engineers are finding him at his spot. No, yeah, it is. Okay, okay. Reduce off the same thing, yeah. Oh my God.
You're a degenerate.
Motion to return from executive
Hang
session.
on, let me start that. Oh,
Make a motion, to return to the exit session.
you second the motion.
All in favor?
All right. I make a motion to adjourn.
No.
Oh, you have to summarize or.
All right, so. We had a discussion about the updated. I updated the. Board on current union negotiations. Well, I'd like to bring up one last item. Lee Bond, who's been a long time employee of the town, 20+ years, is looking, starting in 2027, to pull back a little bit and focus primarily on HR and give up her payroll position. And as part of that, as part of our
We have no,
succession,
no sound right now. Thank you.
is that better?
TV's still on.
Well, yeah, I hope this is better.
I mean, you're getting a green.
Yeah, I'm getting a green. As part of, whoops, we can't have two going.
I just want to make sure that.
Okay. As, yeah, I turned it off in Georgia, now I'm back on, so I think we're okay. As part of the succession planning, we're going to move forward and hire a company to experiment with for payroll moving forward for the town starting in June, and hopefully gradually take over payroll services in the coming months. The payroll company is called Statements Accounting and Consulting. They will, starting in June, process bi-weekly payroll, transfer appropriate funds within the town budget accounts, submitting bi-weekly and quarterly payroll tax reports and payments to the IRS in New York State. They're going to submit monthly retirement account payments. They'll be preparing the W-2s, W-3s, and 1099s. And then they'll be performing all year-end payroll duties and assisting in the preparation of our wage budgets. And that should be it. They'll prepare payroll certifications that are then passed on to the supervisor. This is a rate of $650 a month or $4,550 through the end of the year. This contract is, we can terminate this contract within 30 days if they're not able to provide the payroll services that the town requires.
I make a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign a contract with Statements.
Accounting consultant.
Thank you. I couldn't read that part from here.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Any further questions or comments?
And the anticipation is that, or the expectation is that pay will not be interrupted.
That is the expectation. That is an issue if payroll,
Yeah,
that's a reason for termination if it gets interrupted.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any other questions or comments this evening?
I make a motion to adjourn.
All right, do we have a second?
Oh, second.
And me.
Back.